Please welcome Elvis Aaron Presley Jr. Welcome. Thank you. Have a seat. Now, you like to be called Junior?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Now, you're not on trial here. I've said that, but there's a lot of
I plead innocent to all charges.
But there are people out there who'll be thinking, Elvis's son, oh yeah, my name's Donald Duck.
That's right.
So let's tell them the story. How come? Tell them about your mum and Elvis.
Basically, I was born out of wedlock. I was born in 1961, a showgirl and an actress. And in 61, it was basically taboo for a large entertainer or anybody that was very popular to have a child with somebody that he wasn't married to. And despite to save his career, everything was hushed up. And I was given up for adoption at birth.
Right. So, but your mother actually, I know you don't want us to name her for all sorts of reasons. One very great reason, because she's actually a nun.
That's one of them. The other is, of course, I'm coming out with a book.
Yes.
And it's got a lot of documented artifacts and stories.
How did you find out then?
Well, I was 21 years old when I was told I was adopted. And when you're told that you're adopted, I mean, that's the biggest concern of your life. You don't care where you really come from at the moment, because it's a hard thing to take. And my foster mother was told that she was, you know, that I was the son of Elvis, because she wanted to know where this child came from. What did the father look like? And the lady simply told her, take good care of this child. He's from Elvis Presley. They didn't really care. They never cared, and they don't even care right now about that situation.
Now, in this country, if you want to change your name, it's very easy. It's not easy in America. If you want to call yourself Albert Einstein, you have to prove that you are or are related, or in your case, you had to come up with some pretty damn good verification. What did you tell?
Well, basically, you can change your name, but you cannot change it to status that you're proving a point to. When you're going in front of a judge in a court, I mean, you have to show some kind of proof. The first thing they ask you is why, okay? What have you got to prove, and et cetera, et cetera. And you go through this not once, but 2 or 3 times in a long legal process with attorneys and everything. And everything's got to be assured and certified.
So did you have people speak for you that knew your father?
A lot of people that worked with my father, original members from his entourage, people that wrote songs for his hit movies, that have been on the movie sets, that knew him very well, have come forth and signed affidavits. Even one of my conductors that lives in Las Vegas conducted Elvis Sr. in 1969 at the International Hotel, Bobby Moore's. And he came forth and we did TV shows together and stuff like that, and he even conducts my orchestra when I perform in Vegas.
Now, sadly, when you did find out that you were Elvis's son, your father had already died, but you had in fact met him when you were younger, hadn't you?
I was about 16 years old when I met him. I was backstage at the Hilton Hotel. And I've met almost all the great entertainers, Roy Orbison, Del Shannon, a lot of them have passed away, Liberace, you know, I can go on with a whole long list. And I've always wanted to meet Elvis. You know, when I was a child, rock and roll was taboo in the house. My folks wouldn't let me listen to rock and roll music. Why? I never knew that till I was 21. But when I was a teenager, you know, you do what you want to do at the age of 16, I don't care. And I got to go backstage, back pass with some friends of mine, and they were entertainers. And we got to go backstage, and in order to meet him, you have to wait till he went backstage to go on stage itself. So we waited in the hallway, and the man was so generous that no matter who he saw in the hallway, he would stop and say hello. The music was playing, he was supposed to be on stage. He would shake hands with the janitor. He would say hi to the cook. And I mean, he was just a phenomenal entertainer.
And he was so generous. I mean, actually gave you a ring, didn't he?
He came up to us, and I was so shocked to see this man. I mean, it was, you know, like seeing God, you know.
Mm.
I'm not trying to go beyond it, but here he's standing, and I didn't know what to say. I was a young kid at the time, and I said, man, I says, I really enjoy your music, and, you know, you got a great show, and your jewelry is fabulous, you know. And he just looked, and he says, oh, you know, it went like that. I said, here, try it on, son. And son's a Southern expression, though. But I took it and looked at it and went, put it on my finger, and it didn't even fit. And I handed it back to him. He says, no, no, no. Keep it, boy. Keep it, son. It looks good on you. My friends just shrugged and says, better keep it, you know. You might get mad and throw us all out here.
Tell me, Lisa Marie, Elvis's daughter, has just come into all the money. Do you not feel you have a right to a claim?
No. There's been a lot of people that have claimed to be children. And the first thing they've gone for is the estate. No proof whatsoever that they are a son or a daughter. No tests taken or anything. And I feel that what was left for her, it was left in the will because he knew that he had that child. That child was brought up in the household. And that will was left for her. And I feel, deep in my heart, because I'm not here to take anything away. I'm here to try to push my career and get on with my own life.
Once you go around now and you perform, you're performing in Bristol at 4 dates at
Yes,
the
ma'am.
Rainbow, and you do a lot of Elvis material and costumes. Eventually, when you're accepted, will you get rid of that and just come out with your image?
Well, to tell you the truth, I start out my show, I do not use the jumpsuits anymore. I went through a time that I wanted to have everything that I saw that he had. I went to the tailors that designed his costumes, and I paid up to $10,000 a piece. And I had acquired over 16 jumpsuits. And I no longer use them in my show because one day after I had all this and bought things on auctions and stuff, I said to myself, no, that was his image. That was left for him. That's the legend. And that's not meant for me to wear. So I had my own wardrobe designed. Now, despite of the public, they want to compare me all the time. I just got rid of 2 tons of sideburns I had last month. And, you know, they say, well, if you're Elvis's son, why don't you sing all his songs? Why don't you wear his costumes? Why don't you grow the sideburns? Why don't you dye your hair black the same way that he did? And I had to go through all these changes just to satisfy the public, the demand for that. And my show opens up in a fantasy, but it is not him on stage, it's me, and people come to see me.
Well, they all want to hear you out there. I know I do. It's been a pleasure meeting you.